So can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Good morning. I'll be defending the XE103 labs. That's Linux fundamentals. This presentation focuses mainly on Linux command, text manipulation, and network services. That's including log analysis and configuration file. We have file permissions, bash scripting, data transformation, and applications of each of them to real-world scenarios, and demonstration of tools used in each session. So we'll start with Linux commands. Let's start with the concepts of Linux commands. We'll start with virtualization, process of creating software-based version of computing resources, such as servers, storage, networks, or operating system, instead of using physical hardware. Allows multiple virtual environments to run on a single physical machine, improving efficiency, scalability, and resource management in IT and cybersecurity. Importance of Linux in cybersecurity. Allows for open source and transparency, strong access controls, and powerful security tools like Nmap, Metasploit, Wireshark, and Snot. Stability and minimal attack surface. Then customization and hardening of the Linux system. So we'll start with the Linux commands. First and foremost, we have the ls command. This command lists all the
Okay. Can
directories.
you skip this part, then this command part? Move to the next slide. Move to the next slide where you have where you have do you have real life issues?
Yes.
I not. Okay. You can
Applications of
you,
Linux.
you
Yes.
can you can you can start from here.
Applications of Linux commands to scenarios in cybersecurity. Linux commands can check for, it helps in checking open ports, that's using the networking tools commands, monitoring login attempts with the log files, checking file integrity, restricting file access, and identifying users with administrative access for security audits. So should I move on to the next lab or continue with the
No, you can
commands?
move on to the next lab.
Okay. So we have text manipulation. Text manipulation involves filtering in inputs, then outputting a result, just outputting. So we're using a scenario here, getting a list of IP addresses with failed attempts from a log file. To explain each command, we have the grep command. It helps find specific patterns. So here we access the file all.log, then we use grep-i, which ignores case sensitivity for the failed keyword. This outputs all lines that has failed in them. Moving on to the awk command, breaks each line of inputs passed into fields. So we want to extract the IP address from this output here, the first photo. So since the IP address is closer to the end of the line, we use the NF. We use the NF keyword. Then we count from the second one, 1, 2, 3. That we use -3. Then print $NF -3. This inputs all the IP addresses. Then we can start organizing the extracted IP address.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Can you move to the scenario part, the real life scenario part, where you have
Okay.
use case and scenario part?
Applications of text manipulation to
I
real-world
saw I saw
cybersecurity.
something I saw something about information gathering. What was that?
No, just getting
Okay,
information from the IP addresses, the
okay, all
word
right, that's
count.
fine. That's fine.
Okay. Applications identify repeated failed login attempts and their sources using the grep command and the rest. List the most common IP addresses that successfully logged in. Detect potential account compromise by counting login attempts per user. And identify the most frequent IPs accessing the servers for a potential denial of service attack. Extracting usernames and IPs that fail to log in.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Let's move to the next lab.
Moving to network services. Network services refer to applications or processes that run on a server and provide functionalities to other computers over a network. These services listen on specific ports and wait for incoming requests. Once a request is received, the services process it and send back to the appropriate response. So we have some examples of network services. We have SSH using the Open SSH, HTTP using Apache, then FTP using VSFTPD, PD, DNS using Bind, and SMTP using Postfix. So we want to check out the services. We use the service and the status all flag. This shows us all our services, whether they are running or not. So the plus sign shows that the service is running, and the minus represents an off state, means the service is currently not running. So we use this service, then the name of the service, then start to start each service. So this is the example of a Apache 2 service.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. Let's move to the next part. Apache 2. That's configuration. Okay, configuring the file. Okay, SSH config file. Okay, all right, that's fine. Log files.
Okay.
No. Before you get to Linux file permission, do you have any use case here?
Oh.
Okay, all right,
Sorry,
that's
I
fine.
forgot.
Move,
To add
move,
use
move
case
to
today.
move to Linux file permission.
Okay. Every file in the directory in the Unix or Linux systems assigned 3 types of permissions: user, group, and other. So the command ls-l can be used to view files and their permissions. So we typed -ls-l to the terminal. This gives us the permissions for the user, owner, group, and others, the name of the user, the dates, and the name of the file. The chmod command is used to set permissions for a file. Each user can either have read, write, and execute permissions, and they have numerical values. That is, read has a value of 4, write has a value of 2, and execute has a value of 1. So in this image here, we use chmod 777 attackers IP list. So we change the owner to have each of these: read, write, and execute, for the user, then for other. So we use ls-l to confirm. This gives us the actual permissions, and it shows that it's correct. So applications of Linux permissions to cybersecurity: prevent unauthorized users from modifying critical system files, prevent attackers from modifying website files on an Apache or NGINX server, prevent attackers from erasing traces of activities in log files, then ensure applications run with minimal required permissions, and prevent other users from viewing and modifying personal files. Moving on to bash scripts. We'll be looking at the concepts. So we start with variable. Variable is a character string to which we assign a value. So for example, var1 equals 1, 2, 3. Then a script in Linux is a text file containing a sequence of commands that are executed automatically when run. It helps automate repetitive tasks, system administration, and in application management. Then the read command allows user to input data during runtime. So we have to create a script, and I'm using a software called Genie. So we can use either
Okay, okay, all
nano
right.
and the file.
Can you just briefly move to can we well, there's a great improvement from what you did the last time, from what you did now. However, where we're going to is a destination where you summarize the definition. I like the way you actually detailed out each of the summarize the definition, briefly summarize what was learned. Then the next thing, you move to what? Key commands, those screenshot of command. Then the last part where you're actually missing it out, it's see, you're still talking like somebody who is in the training. What we want you to talk when you have the next your final presentation, you'll be talking like somebody who is already in the industry solving industry problem. So that scenario use case I'm talking about, it's a problem that they solve every day at the workplace. Do you get it? Like for the network service, you are you create a scenario. Um, there were spurious attacks on so and so and so server. Um, as a cybersecurity SOC analyst, investigate using network services based on so and so KPI, failed login attempts. Do you get it? Failed um, IP attempt, the frequency of spurious IP attempt. Now you have your KPIs. Now you now schedule how you did it using the star format. Situation, investigating spurious attack from so and so time on what server in the what so and so department. Tax, use key manipulation text tool or to actually do that. The command you use to investigate it and the results you actually discovered. I hope you get it. So somebody looking at it that way understand that there is a what steady process. You understand what needs to be done in the workplace. Now, this is sounding good, but it's still looking like somebody in the lab in the training. We want you to actually start talking in so like somebody who is actually solving problem in the industry. That's the training. Do you get it clearly? So you see all this batch. The reality is this: the guy who wants to employ you is not interested in all this IP config. You are it's you when you start showing things like this, you're only showing that you are learning. Now, what he wants to see is you solving real life problems they meet every day in the industry, showing him steps on how you solve it and how you report to either your immediate line manager or what your fellow colleagues. Because there is a process flow of communication and there is a standard process of actually escalating any issues within the industry. Depending on the what framework, we have the NIST, we have the PCID. So there are different frameworks which you'll be exposed to as you go on. So that's why I brought this up. As you build confidence in technical capability, you now properly understand how to communicate your capability. Do you get it clearly? So just wrap up, then we'll now move to what the Siberian Arena interview question. Wrap up this. I think after this is TR.
Yes. So, okay. If case for while loop functions. So applications of bash scripting cybersecurity. It's to automate log monitoring for suspicious activity, automating security audits, malware and rootkit detection, monitoring network connections, brute force and DDoS mitigation. Then for ethical hacking and penetration testing, automate port scanning, reconnaissance, and exploitation. So moving on to data transformation. The TR command, also known as translate or transliterate, at its core. Okay. So this is a basic syntax of TR command. TR followed by flag, then set 1 and set 2. And we have this. These are the most common flags used. So some examples include converting letter cases, deleting specific characters, complement characters, and character replacements. Application of data transformation, data sanitization and input filtering, used for preventing command injection by removing special characters, encoding and decoding data, for converting text to simple cipher for obfuscation, removing malicious characters from logs, strip control characters to prevent log poisoning attacks. Then password and key manipulation for generating random passwords by filtering special characters. Thank you.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So you have 5 questions in this session. Each of them carry 5 marks. So try to maximize this part.
Okay.
Each of them carry 5 marks. Which command is used to find the manual page of a command?
The man command, M-A-N, the man command.
What's the difference between DU and DF?
DU stands for disk usage and DF is for disk free. So disk free let me start from this usage. This usage shows the specific usage for a particular folder, but disk free just shows the amount of space used, like is more high level than this usage.
Okay, explain about the Linux. Sorry, just that makes it 2 questions we've asked. Okay. Um, how can we terminate a running process?
Use the kill command.
How do you sort the lines of a file in a numerical sequence?
So use the sort command.
In a numerical sequence.
Okay. Think sort -n
Okay, all
for
right, that's
numerical
fine.
sequence.
Okay, one more last one. How do you start, stop, and restart a service?
Use the service command. Service command, the name of the service, then either start, stop, or restart.
Okay, all right. I'll give this to you. So you scored 76. The highest in the class is 82. Now, why you scored 76? It's the part for demonstration of practical skills. That's where you actually show real world application 5 point, tool utilization 10 point, lab demonstration and analysis. That place should be you demonstrating key tools. So your methodology in that part is actually not up to standard. So what we are trying to build from this is you understand mastering the tools and be able to actually run a hook into what is expected of you right there in the industry. So you're not just here training, you know that this skill, this is what they use what they use it to do in the industry. You know, when they actually advertise a job, they put job description. Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
Good. Those job descriptions are key technical capabilities. So as you are learning them, you are hooking them to a job description. So the next time you're going to do this, we'll summarize from the first to the last. We bring up a job description. So you create scenarios around the job description and actually do what? Present what you can do. apart from the Python XE105 defense. So you present what you can do before you now move to network research and penetration testing. Do you have any question for us?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Thank you, and you can exit the platform presentation.
Okay, sir, can you hear me?
I can hear you. You can start.
Sorry, I'm just confirming. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You can start.
I can't hear you.
I can hear you. You can start.
I cannot hear anything.
I can hear you. You can start.
I cannot hear anything. Okay, sir, can you hear me now?
I said you can start.
You have a chat. Okay, good morning, everyone. I suppose you are hearing me. Okay, so good morning, everyone. So imagine you wake up to your security information and event management dashboard with 20 critical alerts. That is not just a bad day, it's a call to action. I am a student. I stand before you as a student of Tcn2501 cohort at Think Cyber Nigeria, but as a cybersecurity sentinel ready to defend the digital world. So I'll be showcasing to you how not only can I spot the threat, but I could also neutralize the threats. So buckle up as I showcase that to you. So my introduction and my objectives of this presentation will showcase technical mastery and practical cybersecurity skills that were taught through the hands-on practicals and the hands-on labs that I dealt with over the course of this program. So I'll start with the Linux command. It's going to be the first topic. So these commands are very important for you to navigate through Linux, because without which you can't navigate. So we use this Linux for monitoring, security analysis, and incident response. This is where you fail to, first of all, when you have such critical alerts on your dashboard, and I'll showcase some commands that shows that I have gained mastery in Linux commands as a topic. So let's go straight into it. So you just got compromised. What do you go? You want to see where last who last logged into my device? Go to last. It shows you your previous logins. These are where all the logins. So you can now scale through for you to know who compromised my system, where and what. No, and to bring out in order for you to start your track down. So let's go to last and let's grab SSH to see who last accessed our SSH server. So this was the last SSH and the IP has been shown. This was the IP that last accessed my SSH at this point in time. So through this, I can know, okay, this was what happened. I can start tracking back to know where I was compromised from and when I was compromised. So that is the main, that's just all about Linux commands, the commands that help you navigate through your Linux operating system. I will also go to another command that identifies unauthorized user creation. So let's cut our Etsy. Cut Etsy. So these are my hashed passwords. So you can now go through this and see if anyone needs to be changed, if anyone has been long overdue to be changed. So this will now give you an idea of what can be tampered with. So that's just what this does. And such commands help me go there. Without context, this
Network from the head, that guy saying this to be bad.
oh, okay, I will continue right away. So as I was saying, sorry, text manipulation is the next topic I'm going to touch on. So this helps us manipulate our text literally. It gives us the ability to analyze log files to detect brute force attacks. Now you've been compromised because you've seen red alerts on your dashboard. What do? You need to go through your files and see, okay, what's that? Where did someone try to enter? Where did they fill the password? Where will I go and check? Because if you fill the password, you know that someone attempted, but they didn't get the correct login. So what this helps us is narrows down the text, brings out what we want, brings out the word that we're looking for, and gives us the information that we need. That's what this is about. And it helps detect failed login attempts and extract the IPs. So I will do a practical example of that right away. Do that straight away. Cat of the blog. And I will look for the same failed password to see who attempted to enter or failed the password on such try. So here is the log of what has happened on my computer. So here I can see a few failed password and everything from admin. Let's try it. Password. Okay. So here we have all the failed password attempts. So I just want to confirm. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Okay. Oh yeah, I can hear you now. It's better. I can hear you now, sir.
Okay, all right, that's fine. We can
Okay,
continue.
here. I've used text manipulation now to get all the fake password from this particular log file. So this will now give me an idea of where to look to now scale through all the IP addresses and see which one is not correct, does not align with what I have on my system. Then I will know it's from an external source. So this gives me the ability to see that and search from text manipulation, because without which I can't find out which user login attempt give a failed password return. So this is what text manipulation helped me do. So I'll move on to the next one straight away. Searching. So searching helps me find files, can be directories in my system. It's helped me identify vulnerable files and configure permissions. So I can search for a particular file with a particular permission. Like now, 77 means everything is read, write, execute for the user, for the group, and for others. So with that, I can now know which one can any other person just execute or write, which one can they edit. So searching helps me know such files, find files with such permissions. So I will do that now. See all the files on my system with permissions, read, write, execute for all of them. I will enter permissions very soon, but let me just search using that. So let's find in directory type files of such permission 077 as read, write, execute. So all these files are vulnerable to being tampered with because other people can read it, they can write it, they can also execute it. So if I see any of these files to me are very important, I have to change the permissions on it. I have to go to permissions and change the permissions. So these are the files that are liable to being tampered with by such alerts. They could have been tampered with in my alerts. So I have to look through it and see what is very important. Then I'll now place a higher permission on it for only me to be able to read and write, while others can only read. So this is what searching can do. It helps to narrow down the files that are liable to being tampered with. So I'll go straight into permissions. Sorry, network services are next. So network services gives us the ability to monitor our services on our system, the active running services. I can be able to see them in real time and to monitor unauthorized assets. So if anybody has entered my system through any sort of network, I can locate it using network services. And I can identify secure share, brute force attacks, and active connections. So let's look at active connections on my system. So I don't have any active internet connections on my system right now. That's why it didn't display any other thing. If I had active connections, I would be able to see every single one of them using this command. And that is the work of network services, because without which I can't see my network active internet connections. So this is what network services does and provides for to me. It gives me the ability to see my active connections if I have them. Now I know that they couldn't have tampered with my connection because they are not on. So I can just strike this off my list as okay, I'm secured active wise, internet connection wise. Because if I had active internet connections, I have to look through them and be very careful and analyze them to see what might have been tampered with. So that is the work of network services, and this is just a command that helps us see what network services can bring to us. And let's go to permissions. I already mentioned that. But let's see it in depth now. It gives us the privilege of escalating file protection by correcting file permissions. So if I place a higher permission on the file, not everybody can access it, not everybody can edit it, and not everybody can execute it. We have three of them. We have the user, the group, and others. So if for me, the user, of course I place all the permissions on it because I'm the user, I'm the admin. But for others, I don't want all the permissions. I want to limit their access to it and to what they can do to it. That's why I bring a permission. I changed it. We have read, write, execute 421, sorry. So if I place these permissions, I can deny them the ability to change and to cause harm to my files, my important files. So that you have to secure sensitive files in order to mitigate exploitation risks. So if I want to reduce the rate of them entering my system and exploiting it, just secure the files. I'll place higher permissions on it for them not to even, I can even put no permissions. Sorry, I put more permission for them not to read it. If I don't give them permission, they don't get to see it. So this is what permission does to us. So I'll open to a file, a very important file I opened it to before that shows all the hashes of my password. So
Can you move to batch scripting? Hello, can you move to batch scripting and actually try to round up? Move to batch scripting, then TR.
Okay. Now batch scripting gives us the ability to write a script to detect all those attacks. So scripts can be written in order to see the attacks, in order to mitigate them, and in order to make our analyzing go easier. We monitor our logs also. That's what batch scripting does. So I will open to using batch scripting.
Okay, let's see TR. Let's do no need to open anything. Let's see TR. What you have on TR.
Okay. So TR command is also known as translate or transliterate. That's in full meaning. But it's used to process and transform data during investigations. I can change use cases. I can change from lowercase to higher case. Can we change all the alphanumeric into numeric? And edit so many things in order to make my investigations go easier. If I want everything in high case, I can change to high case. If I want to move a particular, like if I want all the passwords in high case now, I can change all the passwords to high case. And I can also format usernames and remove duplicate IPs. That's what TR does.
Okay.
Should I go further or should I?
That's fine. What I've noticed is your confidence is building. However, the best of brain is less effective than the faintest pen. Did you hear what I said? The most brilliant person is less effective than the faintest pen. Now, what you're supposed to do is to structure of your presentation. What you are learning is for us to be able to correlate your put together, corroborate your presentation skills and your communication skills. Now, the structure, presentation delivery and structure, clarity and articulation, slide organizational flow, time management. Now, in a presentation, you cannot start demonstrating physically if you are not asked to demonstrate physically. You understand? The people say, "Kare bale." You are so much in a hurry, but I think you're not paying attention to key instructions. Do you get it clearly? In a presentation, in a live presentation, you cannot start demonstrating commands if they don't ask you. All you do, you screenshot those commands already you have done and put it in the slide. So your confidence is building. However, you are actually off the point and the instruction given on the defense. Sorry, for the defense. Do you get it? You are the only one who is actually, who presented your presentation from the what? From the adverbial point. You are talking as if you are doing it. That's excellent. That's wonderful. However, the structure of your presentation does not allow you to send your message clearly to what? Now, go back to the first page. Now, let me start from there. Go back to your first page. The first part you did, so that we can
see it.
I can see, but you are this TR. No, the first one. Okay, good. Now on this page, you talked about last. No, not here. The first lab. You talk about last and actually using it as a scenario to actually. Now, what you were supposed to do here is define a little bit of Linux command Then the labs we did, you understand? Talk about the second, you can split this particular place into four. The first one is defining the context, Linus command. The second one is actually now talk about what key information that was touched on the what lab. Then the third part should be those commands you want to show. You now screenshot maybe 4 or 5 of them. You explain it. Now the last part should now be a practical use case scenario. Now those things you were saying that we saw 24 alerts on the dashboard and you are asked to use to investigate, put it as a scenario, write it down. Now the steps in which you actually use to actually investigate it, the situation which you've actually have said verbally, the task, what you did, you understand, you write it down, the commands you use, that action, you write it down, then the result you got, you put it there. You don't need to leave that page to do all those explanations in a live presentation. So all the information is in your head, you've written it down on the dashboard. The people looking at it could actually follow through you, and you're explaining on the dashboard. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So that's what I mean by organization structure and point delivery, so that the people you are communicating with can both see your enthusiasm, because you have an enthusiasm, and you are the only one who actually had an elevator pitch. None of them came in with an elevator pitch. So I'm just trying to tell you your plus and your what the pros, the good part and the bad part. So the structure of your presentation is good. Now you seem to be communicating a lot of technical capability that is not pictured. Now a single picture can actually pass 5,000 messages at a glance than you speaking 5,000 words. So if you've had them in screenshots there on your presentation, it would have sent, while you're explaining, it will show more capability than just trying to talk about it and demonstrate it on the what? On the system. Hello, can you hear me? So the purpose of this session, apart from us to actually be able to actually get a glimpse of your technical capability, is to build consistently your presentation skill and your communication skill. Are you with me?
Yes, sir, but it's a bit cracking. I don't know if let me change my internet. Sorry.
No. No. Let's just hold it. We are done. Okay, we'll move to the last part. Is what the scenario part. Maybe after now you can change. How do you start? It's 5 questions. Each of the questions has carry 5 marks. So how do you start, stop, or
Okay.
restart a service? How do you start, stop, or restart a service?
Okay, to start a service, you do service, then the service you want to start, then start. Service, then the service you want to start, then start.
Okay.
Then if you want to stop the service, you do service, then the service that you want to stop, which had already started, then you put stop at the end. So the service you want to stop, then stop. Then to restart it, you do service, the service you want to restart, then restart.
Okay, how do you display the system's uptime? That's one. We are moving to 2. How do you display the system's uptime?
You use the keyword uptime. Do I have to
Okay.
show
All right,
you
that's
display
fine.
it?
No, you don't need to display. This is just
Okay.
an oral question. Explain 2 ways to
Okay.
display the size of a file.
You can use ls-l to show you all the information about the file.
Okay.
And you can also use find. You can use find if you have the size. You can use find then tell you
to display the size of the file. Okay, all right, that's I think you should make your investigation more about the other solution you provided. How do you display system's host name? This is the 4th question. How do you display system host name? How do you
use
display
the syntax
system
host name.
host name?
You
Okay, the
use
last
host name.
question.
You type
Okay,
host name in the
last
terminal.
question
Then
is, how can you terminate a running process? How can you
Okay,
terminate a running?
use Control C. It stops all running processes on the terminal.
A running process. All right. I think you got three right. You actually this last one that there is you failed it. It's actually kill iPhone 9.
Okay, QY for now. Okay.
Kill iPhone 9. Then the other part you actually so that reduces to 20. So you got about 17 on this part. That's why I said so. Your total score is 66.
Sir?
Your total score is 66. If you had gotten the last one, it would have moved to 70 something because you failed the last question. So in the structure, you got 11. In the technical knowledge and understanding, you actually got 23 out of 30 because you are showing you know what you're saying. Then in the demonstration of practical skills, because you're what your how will I put it? Your presentation is not well structured. Your communication is not clear. You are trying to demonstrate something. You spend so much time trying to navigate from the systems directory to desktop. You see, anybody looking at you will spot it as a weakness. Now, if you are demonstrating, it is advisable you practice what looks like magic. Most of the time, when you come to demonstrate a script, not basic commands. So show professional jives and moves. You spend some time trying to navigate from system file down to desktop. You are checking again. So those things actually, when spotted in live presentation, can be seen as weakness. Then in the what? In the Siberium, you actually got 3.5. You failed one, and the other 3.5. So that's it. It's an improvement from what you did the last time. However, when you see anything, when you are given any task to do, listen very well, pay attention to the steps that's why I shared this so that you can, I'm sure you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Stop sharing your screen. Let me share my screen.
No, sir.
So it's an improvement from what you did the last time. So that's the idea of this session, so that you can actually. So all this I shared this explain cybersecurity concept last clearly, concisely, minimize technical jargons when used, slide flow and organize. So that's why I shared it so that you can use it to guide. So I will still give you a structure on how that should be. But this is an improvement from what you did the last time. So we'll meet by 4 p.m. today. Most of those guys, some of them are actually not, but so we'll meet by 4 p.m. to actually revise your scenario questions. The last scenario you did. So we'll be meeting by 4 p.m. today. Do you have any question for us? That's in the evening, one
No,
hour.
sir.
Do you have any
Sir?
question for me? Do you have any question for me?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So it's an improvement from if you had scored the last five, this would be 70 something. So it's an improvement from what you did. So next time, practice all the interview questions very well. See you by 4 p.m.